when something tarries. That's what this lesson is going into. And this lesson will be just, basically a faith booster, to keep going. So before I continue with this lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother lawyer, and I teach with the Great Millstone Nashville Camp. Come back with a quick lesson, and this lesson will be entitled, It Will Not Tarry. Right? So, quick Google search. I typed in when something tarries, which us that's been in the faith for a long time, teaching, we already know what scripture this goes into. We know what tarry means, but the basics is how you grow, like a baby that drinks milk. He's going to grow by the milk. Then he'll eat the meat, certain vegetables end up being mashed up, So it says, I typed in when something tarry. It says to tarry means to delay, linger, or stay in a place longer than expected. And, it seemed like, we're happy that the prophecies are popping off. We're happy that finally, things are moving. And for that time, it seemed like stuff was tarrying. But when you look at the time frame of when stuff has started happening, and the time that this truth, us being the Hebrew Israelites, so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Hispanics, I don't want to lose my train of thought. But since from the prophecy started, ramping up to that time, it hasn't been a long time. In our eyes and in our mind, it seemed like it's been a long time, but it hasn't been that long. The Lord, made things started, basically moving speedily. So I'm going to go right into it. Habakkuk 2:3, it says, for this vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. Which we know that ultimately, the MOTB, the mark of the beast, is going to happen, which that's the microchip, that's going to happen. World War III is at the door. We've been saying that that's going to happen, starting with our apostles and elders on down. All these things are finally happening, so it's not tarrying. Now, say if say something happened where stuff started dying down. Well, that's not the time to get discouraged, because everything happens in this time. The Lord got it stamped in the heavens. And you still got people that's waking up to being the Hebrew Israelite, that they got to catch up, get on, not on board, but catch up, so to speak, meaning, the Lord woke us up 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, talking about the apostles and elders. We had time to clean ourselves up, so to speak. So it has to happen for the newcomers. And then, also, too, in the time to come, when the very last days are upon us, before the return of the Lord, you're going to have some of the elect come in at the last minute, and you don't want to bank on that, and you don't know if that's you. The thing is, I'm, speaking as a man, the ones that come in at the very last time, they're already aware about the Hebrew Israelites. Certain things they're a little weaker on in the spirit, and so they're not going to come in yet. So certain miracles, certain things have to happen so that they can get sealed or come in. They already believe, but their belief has to grow, and that's just the way that the Lord's going to have them grow, and they're going to fully come in. But everything is predestinated. Romans 8. So, and like I said, it's not meant to be, even a 15-minute lesson. It's just basically just faith boost, pep talk through the spirit, because we do that also. We got our lessons and so forth, but too when we around each other, we give spiritual pep talks and so forth. So Sirach 2:14, woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? So many people have lost patience. They don't teach no more, because at one point, it seemed like the prophecies weren't happening. Or it wasn't happening when you wanted to. And so you lost patience. You fell out the truth, or you don't teach no more. You're going to be one of the first ones to be visited when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, or when Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, returns. Blessed is he that work. How does that precept go? Give me 1 second. All right, so right here, Matthew 24:46, it says, damn, you know what? I got to start up above. Let's start at 40. Is it 40? One should be taken on the left. Watch it for, our Lord comment. I'm going to start right here, 42. Matthew 24:42. It says, watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord do come, but know this, that if the goodman of the house had made known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken. This is what I want. It says, therefore, be also ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the Son of Man cometh. And so you got Israelites out there that's not thinking like this. They fell out. And they might hear and see the prophecies popping out, but they can't do nothing about it. So once you lose that oil, it ain't no coming back. That flame ain't gonna be kindled no more. And for some, it might work like that, but you don't want to be that guy. All right. It says, verse 45, who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord had made ruler of his household, to give them meat in due season. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. So you're gonna be blessed if you been doing the work. You've been out there teaching on the highways and byways, doing your videos. When the Lord returns, you are expecting a reward. Like, Lord, I've been doing what you told me to do. I hope there's a reward for me. Which is salvation. You being the elect, 144,000 being crowned. That's why we teaching, to receive a reward. No, man, fuck that. Let's just be honest. We want the kingdom of heaven. And the Lord got it written that the elect are going to do that. The elect are going to believe. They're going to do the work. They're going to go through, certain shit and make it through. You want to be that guy. So just keep pushing. That's all we got. Don't let no man take your crown. Come on, bro. Probably need to restart my phone. Give me 1 second. Come on now. Give me 1 second. Revelation 3:11, it says, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take that crown. So what you have, your portion of this truth, what you have, you got to hold on to that. And you got to pray that the Lord don't take that away from you, because it's his gift. Nigga, you didn't wake yourself up. Man, I woke up. No, when the Lord woke you up, and you have to be like that. You don't have control over your own destiny. You don't. So the Lord woke me up such years ago, So you got to hold that, and this is your crown. This is going to lead to your crown. You want to be a part of that second Esdras too, around the 40th something verse. when the Lord gonna put crowns upon the heads of the ones that stood stiffly for his name. Revelation 24, being the martyrs. Says you're going to reign with the Lord for 1,000 years. 1,000, that's just a complete amount of time. It's going to be longer than that. It ain't going to be no 1,000 years and another nation rule. No, that's going to be done. One and done. That's it. So don't let no man take your crown. And we finna be up out of here. Deal with your day to day, and grow in the spirit and just believe. That's all we got. So with that, Lord, with us is an edifying lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Makakwadash, Shalom.